semi-pro grower in Plymouth, and we decided to make it a pumpkin patch within a pumpkin, and use it as the welcome to the Mile of Orange.
As much as we dreamed of making this into a pumpkin boat and rowing in it, it now has a place of honor on our Mile of Orange.
That's awesome.
With our mascots, Tom and Jerry, on top.
Kids, we put all the names into a bag, and once the pumpkin got to a certain size, we then picked the name out of the bag. So
for our pumpkins.
It's a draw on whatever the pumpkin's name is. And the kids had a grand old time naming pumpkins.
So this one was Chickadee. And it was actually decorated by a family in Northeastern.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Catch you next year.
Yes, absolutely. This one was actually grown by the father of the woman who runs the garden at South Shore Natural Science Center. So he got the seeds from her, and his pumpkin took off. So he brought it to our way off, and it was a fabulous 217 pounds. And here it sits in its place on the mile. And Melissa has said she will enlist his help next year at her science center. So this pumpkin was grown by Haley Bradley, who is the winner of the Heaviest Junior Grower Award, the 10-year-old girl, 260-pound pumpkin. I believe she's from Middleborough. And then it was decorated by Jay Haven, who is one of the cameramen and one of the workers at ECAT, our local Easton Community Access Television. So he turned it into an ECAT TV.
This is one of our home patch ones.
Squash Bob.
Squash Bob. Nathan named this one. This one was decorated by the Easton Girl Scouts. They were called in to help with this one.
They are creative, those Girl Scouts, and we thank them for coming in at the last minute.
This was painted the day before it rained. The rain hit, and all the paint ended up on the palette. So this morning was a quick touch-up job. It still doesn't fully have its eyes, but this actually was done by our son Nathan.
And it was grown in our backyard. This is Phil. Also named by Nathan. So he decorated his spider, and he also created a tiny little spider out of a pumpkin, the black one hanging up in the web.
This is the half-mile mark, and this is also the largest pumpkin we have. This is the one that came out of Bristol Aggie. This was originally painted yesterday by a mother and daughter. The mother is actually a school teacher here in Easton, and they came out, painted it. They blew dry it with a hairdryer to
try and get the paint to set.
But the rain last night did not cooperate with it. So this pumpkin came from Langwater Farm here in Easton. They're a certified organic farm, and this was their first time growing giant pumpkins.
For us.
They grew them in a field on the opposite side of town that they work on, and they had no irrigation on their giant pumpkins. It was just purely whatever the plant was able to survive with. So 162 pounds without water, not bad.
This pumpkin was grown by the youngest grower of our competition, Owen Kerr, and he got it to 164.5 pounds and was very, very generous to bring it to our way off and let us use it on the Mile of Orange. And then it was carved by Jeremy Dion, the same man who made this fabulous walking stick.
So this is our new personal best, our 350-pound pumpkin from our home patch.
Named Abby. After our daughter Abby, and by our daughter Abby.
So it was decorated by a very close friend of ours, Jeff Hammond. And this pumpkin sits on the three-quarter mile mark if you're heading from the school, or the quarter mile if you're heading to the school. It is all the smaller pumpkins that we collected at the weigh-in. We held them until Saturday to put them out, and we wanted to make sure that every little pumpkin was part of the Mile of Orange. So we collected 8, 10 of the smallest ones, and we made one scenery. So we have, an elephant a porcupine, a spotted cow, the farmer, a turkey, a sheep,
And there was a pig that the person who actually grew the pig loved so much took back with them. This pumpkin was 482 pounds. It was grown by Bristol Agricultural School, once again, as was the largest pumpkin on the mile. And this was carved by Dave Sant, a resident of Easton, who is actually known in his neighborhood for his elaborate pumpkin carving. And he was all over getting to decorate his first giant pumpkin. And he actually won the award for the most creative pumpkin on the mile. And he has carved, over the last 3 days, all the characters from Frozen. And there are photos of it when it's illuminated, and it is just stunning. The time and effort he put into it was incredible.